Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another chat show here on Buzzing Pattaya, and to today's topic, which is going to be an interesting topic, I think, in many ways, and that is what is the true cost of a Thai girlfriend? And I've been asked this quite a few times. A lot of people say to me, Trev, is it really that expensive? What am I going to be looking at, etc. So I thought, well, let's just run through some basic stuff that you're going to have to experience, whether you like it or not. And then at least then you've got some kind of footing to start off with, and it will progress. It depends on where we'll go through it in more detail, but it depends on where you meet the girl as to what expectations there are, what's going to cost you. But we'll go through that in more detail in a bit. Now, before I go into the video, please guys have a look on Discord. If you haven't already, please check it out. There's a link in the description below. It's completely free. Get on there. We've got loads and loads of bars and restaurants, etc. on there. There's a huge amount of talking points, so you can ask these kind of questions that I'm going to go through today. You can ask on the Discord server itself. And it's a mobile app. It's easy, user friendly. So have a look, guys. And please, while you're in the let's check it out mode, hit the subscribe button for me, please. We're doing fantastic. Thank you very much for all your support. All right, so what is the cost of a Thai girlfriend? Now, don't worry, you're not going to be looking at me. Right now, I'm going to change there we are. So now we're looking at the videos, which is much more appealing than my Brad Pitt looks. I do appreciate that. So, first thing you need to think about, guys, is where are you going to meet her? This is really a very key aspect of your future with this girl, because if you meet her in the bar, as opposed to meeting her off of a dating site or meeting her from a working environment, it will have a massive impact on where things go. For example, in the early stages, if you do meet her from the bar, well then you are going to have to pay the daily bar fine. That's a given. That's what the bars will expect from her, and you're going to have to front that up. And most bars range between 200 baht up to somewhere like in the region of 1500 baht per day. Yes, that's right, it's per day. And that's their compensation for not having her in the bar, which means that if someone else walks past and there's less girls, etc., their chances are they're going to walk on rather than come in and have a drink. So that's the bar's compensation for the loss of the girl as she's with you rather than with the bar. Now, if she's working in the bar, the chances are that you are going to have to also pay her daily bar fine for herself. And that will be an arrangement between you two, and she will look for financial compensation in the early stages. So, you never know where these relationships are going to go. We know where most likely they're going to end, but never say never. I get a lot of people on the channel, and it's brilliant. I love it. They say to me, Trev, I met a girl in a bar, blah, 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 and we've been together 18 years or 15 years or 20 years. But I do think what is very interesting, and you may or may not agree with me here, but I do think that back in the day, the relationships, I think, were more solid, whereas nowadays, with the introduction of the mobile phone and all the other temptations that are out there and the ways to make money with all these OnlyFans and stuff, I think it's probably a little bit less genuine right now in this modern world we live in. You may disagree with me, guys. It's not, but it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It's just my thoughts. So, if you do meet her in the bar, you're going to have to pay the bar their compensation, but she will want rewarding. And it might be anything from 1,000 baht up to 5,000 baht per day, because that's her way of earning money. And if she's not working in the bar, you're going to have to pay that. That's her compensation. Now, if you're going away on like an island or something like that, you can negotiate and say, look, you normally you want 1,500 baht a day. We go away for 3 or 4 days. Can I give you 3,000 baht? And she might say yes. I would be very cautious about doing these kind of trips, particularly in the very early stages. You've got to remember, you meet this girl, wow, she's beautiful, you have fun in the bar, you have a great time in the evening, next day you're in love, oh, let's go out, let's go and spend a week in the islands. It takes its toll, and it's not the same going out living with each other 24 hours a day as it is enjoying just a set amount of time together. So I would be very careful in the early stages of offering that. Now, if you don't meet her in the bar, there is a couple of other places you can go to. There are a lot of online dating sites. I would be very cautious with those, because obviously it gives the girls a lot of opportunity to be a little bit creative with their photography skills. Maybe they might forget to write down certain things, like they've got 3 kids or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So be very cautious. But at the end of the day, it is a facility available to you and to the girls for you guys to connect. One of the most popular ones is Thai Friendly. If you've not used it before, there is a link in the description below. Have a look at that. So You may or may not want to use these dating sites. You may use it as an opportunity to connect before you come out here or while you're out here. Generally speaking, there is a membership fee for those connections, but you know, it's a platform. The other aspect is to come out here and just literally be social. Go into shopping malls, into restaurants, go to nightclubs, you know, have a wander around, and you may strike lucky and find somebody that's not in the bar scene and someone that's not going to be necessarily commanding a daily fee and a bar fine. So you need to put that into your thought process as to maybe that's an option for you. Now, you might not be confident enough to go out and do that, or likewise, you might not want to go into the bars and you might think, no, I'm not going in there. That's just for a beer and a bit of fun. I'm going to go look elsewhere. You know, it's horses for courses. Whatever suits you is what you need to go with. I'm just explaining a few of the charges here. So now you found yourself a newfound girlfriend. Where do you go from here? Well, what are the expenses you're going to have to consider that will ultimately and most likely come up? Well, one that's definitely going to come up is food. Now, I have to say, over the years, and please, I'm in no position to judge this, so don't take this the wrong way, but I have noticed the girls are getting a little bit bigger, let's just say. But anyway, the point being is that, like, my wife is 48 kilos, and she eats 3 times what I eat. So I think she does the eating, and I just get fat. But the point is, don't be confused or misled thinking, oh, that's all right, she's only tiny. She's not going to eat a great deal. Because she will eat bucket loads, and you're going to be paying for it. So Thais like to graze eat. So they don't normally, like for me, I have a breakfast, then I have an evening meal, and that's me done for the day. Whereas like most Thai girls will graze. So they will eat a little bit, and then when they wake up, they'll eat a little bit in an hour or so, another hour, and another hour, and they'll have lunch, and then have another hour. Bit of somtam, you know, all these kind of things, bit of kwitiao, all these, and then they'll have their evening meal, and then before they go to bed, they'll have another meal. So you will be expected to pay for that, and that is going to come your way. I would strongly suggest in the very early stages that you need to discuss and work out what her food requirements are in terms of, I see people, sadly, and I know it's with a kind heart and it's a great gesture, they take them to these posh foreign restaurants that we as foreigners really enjoy, and they sit there and they're like, really? Like, I just don't want to eat any of this. I'd rather go and get a 40 baht somtam. So, you know, if you are led into the, let's go to the chocolate factory, to the Sky Gallery, let's go to all these lovely like Cafe Desami, all these, and they are fantastic. I'm not saying they're not, they really are fantastic. What I would say to you is just think about her angle. Chances are, if she's like, you know, been working in the bars, etc., the chances are she's unlikely to be in to go into like the Patrick Steakhouse and all these wonderful restaurants that we have here, because we do have a huge depth of wonderful restaurants. She might be more than happy just sitting there saying, do you know what, I'll just have a bit of Thai food, a bit of, you know, kapau mulsap or whatever. And so just be aware of that, guys. Don't go head on thinking, yep, let me showcase a wonderful restaurant. Whereas in England, I know from my own experience in England, you know, the girls, oh yeah, we went to this, we went to 11, or we went to this place. And, you know, all the posh restaurants, for them, it's kudos, it's status. Whereas here, the girls aren't really that fussed about the foreign food in general. Of course, the other side of the coin is if she likes a steak and chips with egg and onion rings, chances are she hasn't been working here just a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's also another little way of telling if there's a small white lie going on between you and her saying, oh, yes, darling, I've only lived here for the last week, and yet she knows what she's ordering. So, you know, use that to your advantage as well. But I would say steer away from that kind of things. Drinking. One of the common mistakes, particularly if you get a girl here from the bar, is she will say, oh, Tilak, darling, can we go back to my bar tonight and have a few drinks, please? You will pay lady drink prices for your said now girlfriend, that even though you paid the bar fine and you're paying her for her time, you're still going to be required to pay the lady drink prices. That's another little thing that they like to, a little trick they like to keep up their sleeve. They will take you back there. They will also have arrangements with other bars where you go in and you'll buy your beer or your drink of your choice, whatever you're drinking, and she will get a drink, and it will be, say, 100 baht, 150 baht. That's because you're getting charged lady drink prices, because she will then go back, once you go back on the aeroplane, go home, and say, right, I've got 10 drinks in here, pay me my 50 baht commission, 40 baht commission, whatever it is they're getting on their drinks. So I would say if she's very keen to take you to a place or wants to go back to her own bar, use your discretion with that and say to yourself, do you know what, I'm not really sure we want to do that. Let's go to one of the bars that I'm choosing, because at the end of the day, you're the guys that are paying, so make sure you make the decisions. Likewise with some of the nightclubs here. There's a lot of membership cards here. So if the girls say, oh, I really want to go clubbing and it's not your thing, stand your ground, because if you do go, they will get 10% back on their loyalty card. So if they walk in, you'll see the girls, particularly in some of the big nightclubs here, that when you get the order, they'll give the service staff a card, a plastic card. They swipe that card, she's getting 10% of your bill. So in terms of what it's going to cost you, you are going to be paying for the food, you are going to be paying for all of those drinks. So that will add up, particularly if you're here for say 2 or 3 weeks and you're partying hard, it's going to cost you. So just bear that in mind when you do think about a long-term girlfriend or a girlfriend whilst you're here for the duration of your holiday. These are the costs that are going to add up. Trips. If you want to go somewhere, you know, maybe you want to go over to Koh Samet, to Koh Lan. I've done videos of both those islands, beautiful islands. Koh Si Chang, I'll do a video of that in the not too distant future. But if you want to go to these islands, you've just doubled your costs. You know, all right, okay, maybe the hotel won't charge you an extra because you're going to get a double room. But, you know, unless you've got inclusive food, you're going to be paying 2 breakfasts, all the grazing food I spoke about, doubling up on your drinks. If you want to go out jet skiing or on excursions, whatever, you're going to be paying double up on that. And at the end of the day, you know, these girls have done, particularly the girls that have been working in the bars quite a lot, you know, they've done these trips 100 times in general. So is it really something you want to take a companion with? And of course, you've got the other option when you go and you look across there and you're like, damn, look at that girl over there. So, you know, it's going to be hard. But at the end of the day, you might feel confident and comfortable having a Thai person with you in order to help you with any translation issues that you may or may not experience. That's the I lost my words at the moment. Right, where were we? Yeah, so, you know, the trips, just be a little bit wary of those. Likewise, the old, darling, can we go see my family, please? Man, you are walking in to a financial thunderstorm because you are literally going to pick up the bill for everything. I remember years ago when I went out, I was with my girlfriend at the time and we went to see her family, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. The restaurant's very busy. And it was all her family and all her friends. And it was her way of saying to all of her family and all of her friends, look at me, I've just nailed a ding-a-ling. And I paid for the whole lot. So at the end of the day, be very, very careful because they will expect that. And of course, then you've got the whole, well, I can't say no because she will lose face. And we all know about losing face in Thailand. That's just a no-no. So you are going to be shelling out. You're also going to experience the old classics. My buffalo is sick. You know, my mum's died for the 15th time, and you know the children need new schooling, new clothing, all these kind of things. And you know, Dad's house has just fell down. It really does go back to my very first starting point. That's you got to think about where you find your companion from. Now, look, I'm not saying that you can't experience all these things if you find a girl outside of the bar industry. But what I am saying is it's more likely. That's all I'm saying, it's more likely. Because the girls work in this environment and they talk to each other about their experiences. You know, they just network, and it is how it is. It might be less outside of that environment. I'm very, very lucky. Like with my Mrs. Mo, I don't get asked for anything. You know, I'm really very, very lucky. But I also know friends of mine here that are getting rinsed left, right and centre. So just be very careful. There are expectations coming your way, particularly if she's now classing you as her boyfriend and you're classing her as your girlfriend. That stuff is coming your way. So be very, very prepared because these eventualities are going to happen. How you deal with them, that's a different kind of thing. You know, if you just put your hand out straight away and go, there you go, sweetheart, grab that, go do it, she's going to take that as a, oh, that's easy, I'll do that again. So just be a little bit wary, guys. I'm just trying to, I don't want to paint the bad picture because Thai girls and Thailand, it's a fantastic, you know, Thai girls are beautiful. I love where I live, I love the country, but I'm just saying these are some of the pitfalls, particularly in the industry that we're talking about. Now, one of the things you are going to also have to think about is if you do have a girlfriend, one of the costs is you're going to have your reins pulled back in. In other words, sweetheart, I'm just going out with the lads today. I'm going to go down to KASITHBK and she's going to have her radar out like you wouldn't believe, and she will be ringing all her friends. My boyfriend come down, him sit with a girl, all that kind of stuff. You know, we've all been there. We've all heard the tales of, oh God, she found me in this bar and oh, she did this, she did. It happens. For me, it's one of the funny parts of being out here because I do see guys getting themselves into some trouble, as I have myself. You know, it's not just you, but I live to tell the tale. But, you know, be very, very aware that once you start getting into what they consider to be a relationship, the cost of that is going to be, you are going to be potentially held back in terms of going out and having fun with the lads. So, you know, they are naturally by cause very jealous. And also they're jealous for not just the visual aspect in terms of like, oh, they like you and all the rest of it. They're also jealous because, you know, if you are going to start paying everything for them and you are going to be the financial cash cow, well, obviously, and quite understandably, they don't want to lose you. So just be aware that these kind of conditions may well come your way if you enter into a long-term relationship. Lastly, one of the other things that you may want to consider for the cost of having a Thai girlfriend is, you know, if you're there for a long term, then they quite rightly, I suppose, you know, they look for things like a house, maybe land or some gold. You know, they use the gold as an investment. They'll want the gold from you and then they'd store it. And if things get tough or times get hard, they can always go and sell the gold and get some more money back. You know, land, things like this. So there are going to be those pressures put on you at some stage further down the road. You're going to be very, very lucky. Very, very lucky to find that you've managed to find a girlfriend that's not interested in any of that. I personally, I don't know any ladies here, personally, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but personally I don't know any ladies here that are not kind of looking for that long-term security. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, at the end of the day, they're entitled to having a good life, they're entitled to having a secure future, so why not? So, like I say, guys, I'm just going over the basics here, the briefing of what to expect in terms of if you do get into a relationship with a Thai girl, what are the genuine costs? And remember, like, where did you meet her? You know, if it's in the bar, you're going to be paying for that, etc. If it's on one of the things like Thai Friendly, like I said to you, there's a link in the description below. If it's at places like that, it may be slightly different. If they're working, well, then maybe you'll strike gold and things will pan out a little bit smoother for you. Remember about the food, you know, they can eat their body weight a day, and you know, it's incredible to see. Drinking, remember going to some of the bars, if they've been in the bar industry, you might be finding you're paying lady drinks, certainly with the clubs and stuff like that. So again, that's a cost you're gonna have to involve. If you do trips, you know, go out, have fun, enjoy your trips, of course, nothing wrong with that, but likewise, you're gonna double up on your costs there. Family crisis, you know, the buffalo's sick. I laugh because I hear these excuses so many times, and do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to, maybe I should do it, maybe I should write a book of excuses, and we could publish it. And you could all send in your tales that you've been stung with. I've been done, I'm not saying I'm not, I've been done, but maybe we could send in our tales of woe. Oh, she did this to me, she said that to me. We could do a book of Thai excuses. That'd be quite funny, and publish it online for free. Not a charging, I wouldn't make any money out of anything like that, but we could just do a book of Thai excuses. What else? Yeah, jealousy. Oh, sorry, no, and don't forget, maybe you'll be picking up the bill for the children and for family, stuff like that. The confinement aspect's not a cost as in like a cost financially, but it is going to be a cost to you as an individual because you're not going to be getting the free reign to go out. Trust me, they've got radars everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I'll tell you what, unless you experience it for yourself, you'll never believe me when I tell you how switched on these girls are, and their network is just phenomenal. And lastly, gifts, gold, land, houses, all those kind of things, they will be potentially coming your way. All right, so there you go, guys. What do you think? Should we do an online? Let's do an online book. Come on, let's do it. I think that'd be a great idea. An online book of Thai excuses. Send me in. Email me your stories and just put anonymous, or if you'd like to be recognized, let me know. And let's see how many responses we get. If we get enough, let's publish an online book. I think that'd be hilarious. I'm sure I can do that. All right, that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to share any experiences down below in the comments, please do so. That's what makes the channel so great and so so enjoyable to read. And that's it from me, guys. As always, please remember, please hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out Discord. I mentioned it earlier on. We've got so many places on there now. It really is fantastic. So please have a look on Discord. It's totally free of charge. And if you'd like to support the channel and the work that I do, there is a link in the description below, both for a Ko-fi, buy me a coffee, as well as the members area for YouTube. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much indeed. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe.